and welcome to our Refugee Week series. I'm talking today to Brian, who works for a local charity here in Bedford. So Brian, tell us a bit about what you do and who you work for.
Okay, I work for a charity called BRAS, which is Bedfordshire Refugee and Asylum Seeker Support. And we give advice to asylum seekers and help with English and help with their problems and do some social activities.
Fantastic. And can you tell us a little bit about the story of how BRAS came to be? How long has it been going for? That kind of
It's
thing.
been going for 20 years. We had our anniversary a couple of years ago, our 20th anniversary. It started in a church called St. Luke's, which was founded originally by refugees called Moravians. So when a lot of refugees started turning up in Bedford about 20 years ago, the church thought, well, we ought to do something about that. So we ought to contribute. So that's how BRAS was founded. It was founded with a barbecue of interested people. There's a lot of people from the breakup of Yugoslavia at the time, a lot of refugees from Afghanistan. And so, yeah, that's how they thought we should do something, we should help. So that's how BRAS was founded.
That's wonderful. So the story really is about local people coming together from community groups and faith groups and just wanting to bring a positive change. That's fantastic. And then, Brian, I wonder if I could ask you this question I'm asking everybody, which is, what's one thing you would love to see change in relation to the work that you're doing?
I think just people to be more empathetic. A lot of people think refugees and asylum seekers, they think they're sort of bogus and they're not really asylum seekers. But I have a map of the world in my office. So when people come in, refugees, it's nice to stand by the map and say, where did you come from? And so they can point that out. And then some of our funders were saying, well, where do most of your clients come from? And it's very clear, very quickly, they come from war zones. They're not bogus asylum seekers. They're fleeing a war zone. They are really very much genuine refugees who've seen terrible things and come to a better life. Often they themselves have experienced terrible experiences, or they've seen relatives who've been killed, to be honest. And so they're seeking a better life, but they are genuinely coming from war zones. So I think this sort of myth that's around that they're not really asylum seekers, they're bogus, is not true at all. And I wish more people would realize that. And I wish more people would realize that, the whole history of humanity is about migration, trying to get away from a dangerous place, trying to get to a better place. That's where we all come from. Both my parents were Irish immigrants in the 1950s. They came to get jobs and work. They came from a place where there was no jobs and work. So they came to get a better place. But certainly my clients are very much fleeing war zones and fleeing very terrible things and trying to get a better life. And, good luck to them. Let's support them.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, Brian. There's the opportunity to find out a bit more and hear some of those stories. If you'd like to pop into St Paul's during Refugee Week, we'll be open from 12 o'clock till 2, Monday to Saturday. And there's various exhibits you can interact with, which will help you hear some more of those stories. And thank you, Brian, so much to you and your team for all the excellent work that you're doing and the care that you're giving to people. I'll put a link in so people can find you and your website and everything, and get in touch with you if they have any more questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Luke, for doing this.
Thanks again for your time, Brian. Take care.
Cheers.